Essentially, the defensive coordinator, now Mark Smith, assumes those duties, those play calling duties in the game. So they might have a few different twists on defense. They'll probably throw some different things in on offense just to give Tulsa a little different look, a different wrinkle. But essentially, it's the same football team.
Quarterback Nate Davis played his worst game against Buffalo in the MAC title game. How do you think he's going to bounce back?
Well, he's a competitor, and I think he's going to bounce back pretty well. He was sick in the Buffalo game, had the flu the day of the game, did not play his best game at all, had 4 fumbles, threw an interception. 2 of the fumbles returned for touchdown. So I expect Nate to really come back and have a typical game for him. He's a very good player, very high-level player, and the Buffalo game was definitely not the norm for him. I see him bouncing back here.
The Golden Hurricane led Conference USA in rushing, an average of about 255 yards a game. Is Ball State's defense up to this challenge?
Well, we'll find out. I think they are. A couple of years ago, they were not very good against the run. That was the bane of Brady Hoke throughout his time at Ball State. They didn't defend the run the way he wanted to, didn't play with the aggression up front that he wanted them to. They've made big strides in that area this year. They become much more physical up front at the point of attack. They're one of the better teams in the MAC at defending the run now, and I think they'll do a decent job in that regard in the game.
Hey, before we let you go, we're at NFL Network. We have the Texas Bowl, Western Michigan taking on Rice. Ball State, the last team to see Western Michigan. What can you tell our viewers? What can they expect from the Broncos?
Well, I think you'll see a Western Michigan team that's pretty good offensively. Tim Hiller, the quarterback, really made some major strides this year. Last year, he was just very ordinary. This year, you might say that he was the best quarterback in the MAC. He certainly had the numbers, led the league in passing. He's got a great receiver in Jamarco Simmons, very physical guy, 6'2", 235, likes to get physical with defensive backs. They like to go to him. He has 98 receptions this year, so that's a big part of their attack. The question is, defensively, Western Michigan has given up a lot of yards in the pass, and they have a pretty good secondary. They have quality players in the secondary, but they didn't get the pass rush throughout the year that they thought they should have.
Doug, Matt, and MK, see you later on in the show. We'll get more analysis and predictions from you all. But when we continue, the surprising firing of Mike Shanahan, one of the longest tenured coaches in the league, is out. Our NFL Total Access crew will join us next.
It's an all-out flavor blitz with KFC Honey Barbecue Wings. We take our famous sauceless hot wings that are marinated in peppers and coated in seasoning, then glaze them in honey barbecue for 3 layers of flavor. Get 7 for $3.99 or grab a bucket of 20. Add a 32-ounce drink for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 44.
Happy New Year! Welcome to Progressive.com.
This place is hopping.
It's resolution season.
Well, my resolution? Save money.
Last year, millions of people visited Progressive.com, and those who switched saved an average of over $350.
No wonder it's like a party in here.
Yeah. I wrote that.
Starting the new year with savings. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Pick a city, then get a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price from Hotwire.com. When 4-star hotels have unsold rooms, they use Hotwire to fill them. So you get the lowest prices guaranteed.
HOTWIRE, Hotwire.com.
The Home Depot NFL Neighborhood MVP is the program that recognizes players who are all-stars on and off the gridiron. 8 of these athletes have been selected as finalists thanks to the positive impact they've made in their communities. Each week, one player teams up with the Home Depot to build a local playground. Who will be honored as the Home Depot NFL Neighborhood MVP for the 2008 season? For more information, log on to NFL.com/Home Depot.
All day, every day, all night, all night. You watch popcorn? 1, 2, 3. Popcorn.
Both teams desperately need to win this game.
I want to say this to you.
Nobody on any show is going to give you what we're about to give you.
This guy's in man-to-man defense.
Al Davis opened up an entirely different can of worms.
The eye in the sky won't lie.
We have cameras set up at every NFL training facilities, all 32 all day.
Yes, I definitely do want a Super Bowl ring.
Into the end zone, touchdown to Taylor. Oh, my.
I guess I'm not going to Disney World.
Super
claim the top spot on our countdown this week.
Give it off to Westbrook. He fumbles the football.
Throws and then throws it out of his hand. Is it a fumble?
Uh-oh, we got a ball game now. It has to impress you about the character of these guys.
NFL Network. NFL Network.
NFL Network. We love you.
Again, the top story in the NFL, as Adam Schefter first reported, the Broncos have let Mike Shanahan go after 14 seasons. Shanahan was the longest tenured coach in Broncos franchise history, won back-to-back Super Bowls in '97 and '98, but now he is out. For more on this story, let's send it across the way to Stage 1, Alex Flanagan, and one of Shanahan's former players, Terrell Davis.
Thanks, Darren. Of course, as you mentioned, shockwaves went throughout the National Football League when the news broke that Mike Shanahan was fired. TD, you played for him, were Super Bowl MVP under him. What was your reaction?
Surprised. Didn't expect this to happen. Normally when a coach gets fired, you sort of see the writings on the wall. We didn't see anything from Denver. And Mike is a real good coach, and I know the last couple of years they've sort of fizzled down the stretch, but still what he's brought to that organization, the first-class mentality, getting the best out of his players, and he had a pretty good system there as well. So, and they've been consistently winning games in Denver. So now that he's not there, I was surprised that Pat would make that move and release Mike Shanahan. And the question is, well, who do you bring in if you're going to get rid of Mike Shanahan? So I thought that you don't do that prematurely and make that decision based on either this year or last year's results, and give him at least 1 year to prove himself again before you make that decision. So
you bring up that question. What do you think they are looking for now in a head coach?
Well, you look at Mike Shanahan, he's getting up there in age, and when I was there, he had a message that players responded to. I think now that message, the younger players aren't really responding to it. So you probably need a younger coach who can get these guys to respond, a coach who's more, I wouldn't say hip, well, I guess I could say hip because now the generation is a hip generation. And the guys are probably, they were probably, are able to connect to this guy a little bit more because he's a younger face and a fresher face there. So maybe somebody like that can possibly get the job done.
The Broncos finishing 8-8 this season, but really it seems like the season fell apart.